Hey guys, welcome back to Comic Relief After Hours. It's been a while since we've done an After Hours episode, but we decided to do it today because there was a lot of news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con 2018 that got buried by all the shit from like trailers and movies and all that stuff. And the true reason for Comic-Con exists is because of, well, comic books. So I've got Josh here with me.
Like always,
but not Dallas. Actually, we've got somebody from the James Eversole Jr. movie podcast. You guys can check him out on YouTube as well. We got James Eversole. Say hello.
What's up, man? I know how much you love saying that name.
James Eversole Jr. movie podcast.
say it 3 times fast.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But guys, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to give you guys all the news coming out of Comic-Con of the comic books, the things that you can be looking forward to picking up in your local comic shop or hopefully here at Comic Relief. And we've got James here. So he's a comic book reader, but he's not.
I'm a noob.
He's not a noob. He's more of a casual reader. He's a casual collector. Josh and I both work in a comic shop, so we wanted to get an outside perspective on how does somebody feel about this that would wander into a comic shop, see this kind of thing sitting on the racks there, and how inclined would they be to be picking up that book. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the DC Comics because personally for me, I think DC had the best stuff to offer.
Yeah, they definitely announced some of the bigger deals. And the other publishers didn't really announce anything huge.
Yeah, and it's weird. DC, I think, won Comic-Con as far as movie trailers and shit goes, and I think they also won the comics as well.
Yeah.
So without further ado, like I said, something small going on in the world of comic books is that Batman will finally be sporting his old school trunks, starting in Batman number 53, as well as in Detective Comics number 944. As you guys can see up here, we've got a picture of Batman in his classic comic book superhero underwear brief trunks things. Because Superman got him, now Batman wants him back too.
Yeah, I mean, he just piggybacks on Superman. That's all it is. Superman had a cape, he had to get a cape. You know, that's all it comes down to. But that actually comes out in 2 weeks now?
Well, yeah, since Batman 52 just came out today, 52 or 53 will be out in 2 weeks. James, how do you feel about it?
Well, it's always like they said, you throw it back to the classic costume and everything else to grab that. I think it's really cool, and it's kind of has that little Adam West feel to it.
Yeah, and another thing that I think is really cool is that Detective Comics issue 944 is also going to have a new team on it. It's Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke. If you guys know anything about Peter Tomasi, he's been writing Superman Rebirth. He wrote Super Sons Rebirth, while Doug Mahnke can be seen on the latest Immortal Hulk interiors as well as The Mask and The Mask Returns in 1991 and 1992. To give you guys an idea of some of the Doug Mahnke's artwork, he also did some Sinestro and Superman stuff that you guys can see right there too. So how do you feel about Detective Comics with Tomasi and Mahnke?
Well, that sounds like a great team, but I didn't realize that Mahnke did, Mahnke always reminds me of
Pokemon, right?
Yeah. But I didn't realize that Mahnke actually did the artwork, the interior artwork for Mask and Mask Returns.
Yeah.
I love that comic book. I have like those complete runs in single issue, and I never put that,
So James, how do you feel? Would you pick up the new Detective Comics with that artwork and that writer?
Oh yeah, definitely the artwork. I was like stunned by that. Even Josh took the words right out of my mouth. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know he actually did the mask. So yeah, it definitely has me interested. I know how big of a fan you are of a Green Lantern, so to have those details pop like that, it always brings more out of the characters.
Yeah,
so
you've been reading Immortal Hulk too, right?
Yeah.
He does the artwork on
the newest issue. Yeah. If you look at that Superman image, I think that looks like Lionel Francis Yu, and you guys.
I know that. I almost did not believe. Except for the face, I did not. I forgot that. I would not have known that was Mahnke.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to one of my favorite things that was announced, but also one of the things I want to be cautious about. It's the Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern series. He's giving up his epic space adventure to tell a more intimate tale of Hal Jordan as a space cop. Now, the team on this is the controversial Grant Morrison, the writer of Doom Patrol, All-Star Superman, New X-Men, Batman and Robin, Final Crisis, and the creator of Damian Wayne.
Jesus, and you could keep going.
Oh yeah, the dude's written everything.
His list is like so long.
Yeah, and you got the artist is Liam Sharp, who's known for Death's Head, God Killers, and recently Wonder Woman Rebirth. So you guys can check out here. He's also been doing Brave and the Bold, Batman Brave and the Bold, and you can see some of his pencils here. He's got a different artistic style. You guys can also see from the image that we put up of the picture of Hal Jordan as Green Lantern. I'm not digging that look so much, but I'm really hoping that
it's very like Alex Ross kind of looking.
No,
not
Alex Ross.
But who did Doctor Strange? He just recently passed away.
Ditko?
Was that it?
Yeah, Ditko did.
Oh man,
Yeah.
just like I don't know.
I guess I could see a little Ditko in there, maybe, but
Maybe.
That's more like Dungeons and Dragons right there. I like it.
I mean, I really enjoy. I seen pictures, little preview pencils of his Green Lantern, what he's working on for the book.
Yeah.
And it actually looks a lot better than the one main preview that they keep showing everywhere.
Right.
But I'm definitely excited about it. But it is a little problematic. I mean, Green Lantern is a tough book to write. You have to have somebody who actually understands that universe to write it. And Grant Morrison seems like he would be a good one, so I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be giving it a try for sure. My thing with Grant Morrison is I think this guy has big ideas. Conceptually, he has very good ideas. He's smart. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he's trying to do. The execution is the other thing, is a completely different matter. I think there are times like Final Crisis where I'm just like, this just did not work for me. I understand what you're trying to do. All-Star Superman, I think parts of it really worked really well. I think that's also probably because of Frank Quitely's art, but I think All-Star Superman, it was kind of this like 12 labors of Hercules, but for Superman, and then he does some weird like existential shit with Superman. I think like I said, I think he's got big ideas. I'm worried about what he's going to try and do with Green Lantern because he's always trying to reinvent characters. I mean, I'm talking down to the bare bones. He's trying to reinvent.
Yeah, but Grant Morrison, I mean, like when he's bad, yes, it's bad.
Yeah.
But it's very rare that he's actually bad, though.
He's a titan in the industry. There's no denying that. James, how do you feel about this? Is this something? Cause are you a Green Lantern fan? First off.
No, I mean, well, not really Green. I can't say that because haven't read much of Green Lantern. And then what is it? Green Lantern in the Core.
Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern.
Yeah. You just recommended it on to me, so I'm definitely gonna start reading that. But as far as that, it sounds like you got a veteran in the game. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's always a plus sign there. But
how do you feel about Damian Wayne?
I just, like you said, just like hit and miss. It's just like, so I don't know.
I know Josh and I feel like that character's actually been growing on us. Me as a person who hated him. I hated Damian Wayne from the beginning, and I actually kind of like him now.
I kind of enjoyed him there for a little bit. I like the idea of Damian Wayne when they first introduced the character. But lately, in the past few books that he's been in, I'm loving where that character's going. I mean, at first he was just a little dickhead, and I didn't really care about him.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. All right, well, let's move on to a little Aquaman goodness, because Aquaman, not to be outdone by his movie counterpart, must be getting reinvented now in the comic book. So Aquaman is getting a retelling of his origin and his relationship with his mother Atlanta, with the creative team being Kelly Sue DeConnick, which did Bitch Planet, Captain Marvel, Supergirl, and Ghost, actually from Image Comics. The artist is Robson Roca. He did Lobo, Sinestro, Birds of Prey, Superboy, all within New 52, and Green Lanterns with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz. So if we want to get a good look at some of his artistic style, we got that Daredevil and Batman up there for you as reference. How do you feel about this one, Josh?
Well, it's going to be interesting because I like Kelly Sue. You already know this.
I do.
I love her run on Captain Marvel. I'll praise it up and down. But I like Kelly Sue. I just don't know how well she's going to write for Aquaman. It's just like a really weird character for her to be put on.
It is. I mean,
but I'm kind of intrigued by it.
Yeah, if you look at her
it's
list, it's very female oriented.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to hear that she wants to retell the relationship with the mom.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how much time is Aquaman going to get to shine, as opposed to like, here's where you came from and here's my backstory as Queen of Atlantis.
Yeah. So I'm it's just one of those things where you hear it and you just go like, maybe it's going to be bad, maybe it's going to be good, but I am intrigued. So, in the artwork, I'm not worried about the artwork.
No.
The artwork's killer.
Have they set a release date on this yet?
I think it's 2019.
Really?
If I had to guess. Yeah, I think most of this stuff is happening in 2019. Don't quote me on that, but
He's like, don't take the new recent Aquaman run away from me.
I'm loving the new Aquaman. But how do you feel, James?
Yeah, well, you guys titled it before. It just seems like around the time we got a movie coming out, so that means more relation to the movie, and
right?
Like have their relationship with a mom. Aren't they already doing that in the movie?
Well, wasn't that something that they also announced too when they were talking about this? They're saying that it was going to Aquaman. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that Aquaman was going to be sexier. So I can't.
Actually, that does ring a bell.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
they said something about how they were going to kind of go off of a little bit, give Aquaman a little bit of the Momoa-esque, which is the one thing that's kind of going like, oh god. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't see Kelly Sue doing like a movie like adaptation of a character.
Well, this seems to be DC trying to play in the same pool as Marvel. It's like, oh, we got this movie coming out. Let's
hype's there, so
yeah.
Do a series.
And so let's also try and make sure that the character looks like what we have in the movies. A la Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, or whoever else you want to throw
John
in there.
Berthenol. He slowly started looking more in the comic books. Punisher,
so this one doesn't excite me that much. I will say Robson's art, I think, is very intriguing. It's got a little bit of a Templesmith look to it.
I don't know if I'd go
not
Templesmith.
a little bit. Yeah, a touch.
Man, you guys on comparing your artists.
A touch of it. Look at that Batman. There's a slight feel of it.
Yeah,
there's
sure.
Some fingerprints of Templesmith definitely in there.
But I like that there's not like an entirely exaggeration of features. Like if you look at that Daredevil, he looks like he's proportionate. It's humanly proportionate.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting look on Aquaman, and I'm curious to see what this guy ends up making. Atlantis look like, actually.
And I like that Batman. Looks a little scary.
Yeah.
Gotta put the fear into the criminals.
I like the utility belt, man. Look at that utility belt.
Look at that Liefeld pouches.
Yeah, I know. I was like, those pouches would make Liefeld cream in his jeans.
Yeah, or jealous. Yeah. All right, let's move on to some of the DC's Black Label stuff. The first thing being the Batman Joker Deadly Duo. You got artist and writer and artist Mark Silvestri on this one, actually. So this one has me a little excited. You got Mark Silvestri's on Cyberforce. He did Civil War, The Initiative, Uncanny XMen, and Wolverine. This guy. If you look at his repertoire, or whatever you're gonna call it, he's got a long list of shit that he's done. He's a veteran of the trade as well. So I'm actually curious what you guys think as far as what he's gonna do for Batman Joker Deadly Duo. There's not a whole lot basically on what the plot is gonna be. But let's from what we can tell from the title, I don't know if this is Batman Joker like a team up. It's kind of like how do they interact with each other, or is it kind of the yin and yang to each other, like they need each other to keep going on? Deadly Duo kind of tells me that collateral damage is involved.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be some kind of weird relationship book.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited about it. My main thing is I feel like there's way too many Batman titles out, and there is a lot of Batman titles coming out that wasn't announced at San Diego Comic-Con. And I feel like with too many Batman titles, a lot of times what ends up happening is like you have a bunch of crap Batman titles and one good one. And this could be the good one.
Batman White Knight.
Yeah, White Knight was like, I mean, there's like Tom King's Batman, Detective Comics, there's Batman Sins of the Past. There's all these different titles right now. It's not Sins of the Past.
Sins of the Father.
Sins of the Father, yeah. Sins of the Past is Deadpool, right? Yeah. But it's but there's just too many, and so that's one thing I'm worried about. But I mean, that art, you can't deny that artwork. It's beautiful.
That's
man.
I can't wait to see what his Joker ends up looking like.
Yeah.
James, how do you feel about this? Now that you've kind of heard what we think about it, and you've seen this guy's art style, some of the stuff he's done. What are your thoughts? Is this something that you'd want to pick up?
Well, you given by the title, you said it has me really interested because you said a deadly duo. So it sounds like to me like maybe there's a greater threat that Joker and Batman have to work together. I don't know. It's just something that falls in line with that.
Brainiac's going to take over the world.
Yeah.
Joker, we need a team
You're
up.
the only one I can trust.
Yeah. But Josh, once again, going back, I was actually going to compare it to Deadpool. It was like there's too many titles of Deadpool all at the same time.
It's it gets too saturated.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. I'm burnt out on Batman personally. I don't need to pick up any more Batman titles, but with Mark Silvestri at the helm, I'm definitely intrigued by the idea.
I would like there to be at least one good Batman ongoing title.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to something that everybody's been wondering since Rebirth started, which they're going to be putting under DC's Black Label, Batman: The Three Jokers. They're finally going to be addressing the Three Jokers, but the thing is, it's residing in the Black Label, which is supposed to somewhat be its own universe, so the Rebirth universe might not even be affected by the Three Jokers anymore. I don't know how well this is planned out, but you got Jeff Johns on it, obviously, who did Green Lantern, Aquaman, Shazam, Justice League, Blackest Night, Flashpoint, on and on and on. The guy's done everything. And then you have Jason Fabok, who's done Batman, Flash, Detective Comics, Justice League, Swamp Thing, Joker, Death of the Family. This dude also has a lot of his art being modeled his art is now being modeled into the DC Essentials action figure toy line. So, how do you feel about that, James?
Well, as soon as you say Jeff Johns, like you said, the Three Jokers, I'm like, what? Yeah, just like, and then you slap Jeff Johns on it. I mean, the guy really knows the material. So, That's good. You just slap his name on, I'm probably sold on it. But yeah, it just so is there any like synopsis to what they're going for here?
Well, in DC Rebirth,
Yeah.
They essentially what DC did was they announced a bunch of little things that was going to be happening with the Rebirth series. And with that being, they did the whole Doomsday Clock. They referenced that, and Batman towards the end, he looks on a computer and he wants to. The computer can answers any questions that he needs to answer.
OMAC chair or whatever.
Yes, and he asked them, "What is the who is the Joker?" And it says that there's 3 identities of the Joker, saying that there's 3 Jokers out there. And one thing that Jeff Johns, even though he is really good at his material and really good at writing, one thing he is also really good at is making you fucking wait for something. Because with Doomsday Clock, like it took forever for them to actually release Doomsday Clock, and then Doomsday Clock is 12 issues that they make you wait every 2 months for it to come out. So, and they still haven't answered anything.
Yeah.
So it's just like, cool, finally you address something that you're actually going to have a book out there of something that you addressed 2 years ago.
Over 2 years ago.
Yeah,
almost.
over 2 years.
By the time it comes out, and the thing is too, is that it might not even be in the actual Rebirth universe.
See,
because the way they describe Black Label is like, this is where we're going to tell our harsher, darker, more adult, gory stories. But then it's not going to cross over to the main canon, so nothing that happens here is going to affect the main canon. So why are they releasing the 3 Jokers under the Black Label?
Now, quick question: did they actually? Because the stuff I've read on DC Black Label, there's a lot out there to read about. It's not a ton though, and I haven't really seen anything where they said it wasn't going to be canon. All I saw was it was going to be like as if like putting the DC Black Labels on there was going to be their equivalent of putting a parental advisory on.
Well, for reference, Batman White Knight was supposed to be their first Black Label title, but because they hadn't gotten it up, they released it anyway. So now it's like in this weird limbo. It's obviously an Elseworld story, but the 3 Jokers is going to be a Black Label, but it's also supposed to be addressing stuff that they said
maybe there's going to be a big crossover.
Oh
like
yeah, maybe
Watchmen and
yeah, maybe there's some ingenious
DCU.
Doomsday Clock crossover with this that we just can't see yet. But James, does this seem like something that you would want to go into the shop and pick up?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Joker is one of the most iconic villains of all time. Then you have Jeff Johns to touch it. Somebody just outside the realm. It connects to me, so it
sells you just because of the Joker name.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it sells.
And Jeff Johns.
Yeah, it sells to me because the artwork.
Yeah.
He is a killer artist. I can't even. What is the last name?
Jason Fabok.
See, I can never pronounce his last name. But Fabok is a great. Did I say it right? Yes.
You
Okay.
did.
Great artist, and Jeff Johns. I mean, even though he does make you wait, he is a good writer. I mean, I can honestly say, other than Doomsday Clock, I've never really been disappointed in anything that he's ever wrote.
No, I'm excited about every element of this. I'm just confused about the Black Label thing, and the three Jokers thing still has me super confused and worried at the same time, because I think, oh yeah, there are 3 Jokers. When you said there are 3 identities to the Joker, maybe it's because he really has been like 3 people, but it's the same guy with 3 different aliases. I don't know.
3 different multiverses.
Yeah, once you start getting into the multiverse,
yeah,
though.
because like you could start like another thing could be like the reason why they moved White Knight over to the DC Black Label is because essentially that Joker, that Jack Napier that's in there, is supposed to be one of the 3.
That's actually not a bad point. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is a lot of people's favorite Dark Knight's Metal. Batman Who Laughs is getting his own, I think it's a 6-issue series. It's a carryover from Dark Knight's Metal. It's supposed to be a Punisher-esque Batman who murdered Joe Chill the day he killed Bruce's parents. So you got your writer, obviously, Scott Snyder, who's done Witches, Batman New 52, Batman Black Mirror, Dark Knight's Metal, Justice League No Justice. And then you got Jock on the art. This is the only part of it that actually kind of excites me, which is he's done 2000 AD, The Losers, Batman Black Mirror, Wolverine, Green Arrow Year 1. This guy's done a lot of stuff. As you guys can see up here, what we've got up on the screen for you, he's got a very different artistic style, but it's gritty, it's dark, it's realism, it's a bit of abstract at the same time. He mixes inks and watercolors and paints, and he's got a really unique style to him.
He is one of those artists. He's like I would say probably one of the only artists out there right now where a lot of people see his artwork every day and you have no clue. I mean, like the Joker one with his face turning into bats, which you can see on the screen.
Black Mirror.
Yeah. That image is everywhere. It's on stickers, bumper stickers, all that. It's just everywhere.
And he also does all sorts of different art mediums too.
Yeah, Mondo. He does a lot of stuff for Mondo for steel boxes for movies. He does a bunch of vinyl record special editions. I'm unbelievably excited about this because if Jock's on it, I buy it anyways.
Yeah, but how do you feel about Snyder writing it?
I'm gonna hope that Snyder. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna hope that Snyder can get back to his roots because at one point Snyder was a good writer.
Yeah.
And when him and Jock are together, usually that's a good team. You know,
Batman Black Mirror, right?
Black Mirror. I loved Witches. I thought Witches was a terrific book. So I'm really hoping. I mean, that's a team that I enjoyed before. So I'm hoping now. I hope that whole DC metal, because I used to think Capullo and Snyder was a good team.
Right.
But I'm hoping that this kind of continues being like, okay, Snyder and Jock. I still enjoy that team.
Yeah, it's like with Scott Snyder. I mean, you guys even said too. It's like, what is it, Justice League that he wasn't too banana sandwich on?
It just seems like Dark Knight's metal and then like No Justice and yeah.
It's like, but it seems like the Dark Knight that he actually does well with. So that actually has me excited. And by this art too, I really dig that. And I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea this is the artist that actually did that Joker. Yeah. And like you said, you see it everywhere, but. You finally find it out. I'm really digging that Dread though.
That the Dread. He did a steel box for the Dread,
also
and
got from Pan's Labyrinth.
He did a steel box for those. Wow. Yeah, him and actually Del Toro actually was at a con once, and he had a bunch of prints with the Pale Man on it, and it's like all abstract. It was supposed to be for a movie poster, and they both like sat there and just signed copies for people for free. It was
That's awesome.
That's cool. The one thing that that has me somewhat excited about this because Snyder's been on my shit list for a while, but. I will say that Batman Who Laughs was one of the only tie-ins to Dark Knight's Metal that I actually enjoyed for what it was, separated from the rest of the story as an isolated thing. I'm like, this is actually a pretty cool concept. I think it's the only one that, as we talked about before, made Batman a villain. Like, he's just a bad guy. It wasn't like, oh, one bad day turned him around. He was just an evil fuck. Kind of,
he was turned that way, but yes, he was turned that way essentially the same way that you would say, depending on what origin you go with the Joker, the way the Joker was turned evil. So
yeah, so that's the only thing that's got going for me. Otherwise, I'm hesitant on this one, but I'm obviously gonna be checking it out. All right, let's move on to the one I'm also probably the most excited for all around, which is Shazam. It's the continuation of the 4-issue thing that Jeff Johns did for the Shazam family in the New 52. So obviously, Jeff Johns, see above everything else we just talked about, right? The artist is Dale Eaglesham, he's done Green Lantern, JSA, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk, and The Punisher. So he's got a little bit of a different artistic style, but one that I think would be very well suited for Shazam. As you guys can actually see, they've released the first image of the Marvel family on like this roller coaster, and on the left you can see him having done like all of the JSA. So he's got a good classic style to him, but he uses a lot of colors. There's not a lot of blacks, not a lot of shading, not a lot of etching. It's very clean, and I think that's something that you need for Shazam.
Yeah, definitely if it matches the tone of Shazam, like you said with the collars and everything else, it really pops to give Shazam.
Right,
so
it's the Shazam or Marvel family, so this should be a little bit lighthearted. Did you ever, James? Did you ever read the New 52 Shazam?
Nope, but it's sitting at home.
Okay.
I really never had too much. I never really cared enough to read Shazam, and I decided to go ahead and read Jeff Johns' Shazam after they released the trailer. So I'm like, okay, well, let me read up on this. Let me make sure this is something I might actually dig. And I read it, and my only problem with that book is that it's too short. It feels like it's a teaser. It felt like it was like something that was at the end of a comic book in each issue. And so them announcing that they're actually going to continue it, and the artwork is, it's fun, so it's perfect for Shazam. But to know that Jeff Johns is actually going to continue off of that, it makes that book even better now. Because now I know it's not just a small little teaser. It's
funny that the reason we haven't gotten any Shazam since then is because Jeff Johns got so busy, but he also kind of laid claim to Shazam, saying no one else can touch it. And I mean, it's Jeff Johns at DC. No one's gonna touch it.
Jeff Johns doesn't want you to touch something. You fucking don't
you
touch
just
it.
leave it the fuck alone. So he's finally getting around to it, and it doesn't seem to be any coincidence that it's right around the time of the Shazam trailer. It's gonna be right around the time of the movie Shazam coming out. Obviously, the movie takes heavy influence from the 4 issues of Shazam.
Yeah, and it's like what you said too. It's like I brush up on everything. Like Aquaman's coming out in December. Like I've been reading the Rebirth and then the New 52, all that stuff. Shazam, that was the number one thing I'm going to read right after I'm done with Aquaman. And it just like, so that's a good thing too, to go back to, something, the source material of this character, and what better, like you guys said, Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
And I know a lot of fans of Captain Marvel had a bit of an issue with Shazam, Jeff Johns' run, because he was a little bit of a snarky asshole, and there's,
about the name.
To be Shazam, you have to be pure of heart, but Billy wasn't really pure of heart. It was basically like Shazam was like, well, the Wizard was just like, there really is nobody pure of heart anymore, so I'm just going to like hope and put my trust in you, and hopefully you're going to stop being an asshole. But I would think that there's a possibility for them to rectify this with this and go, here, let me show you why Billy really was worthy of the
what
powers
else
of
Shazam saw. But I like that about it too, because it wasn't
It's more
like
modern.
It's more modern, but also the one thing I liked about it was it felt different. Because most stuff is always like, oh, he's pure of heart, let's give it to him. And like this one was kind of like, I gotta hurry the fuck up. Like I can't, like there hasn't been, I've been looking for years, I haven't found anybody, and you come in here and it's like, and I already know something's going on, I gotta hurry up. So you're gonna have to do, and hopefully there's some glimmer of good in
There was
you.
a bit of desperation on the Wizard Shazam's part when he imparted the powers to Billy.
And I thought that was cool, because that's something that it's original. You don't really get that a whole lot, like that kind of like the issue.
The only thing that was popping in my mind was Scott Lang.
Scott Lang.
Just give him the suit.
All right, I guess we are going to switch gears now from DC. So, before we do that, Josh, what are you most excited about out of all the things we just talked about from DC?
Well, I think that I am probably more excited about the Batman Who Laughs. The character was cool. That was the only thing out of Metal that I really enjoyed, other than Murder Machine. And I really enjoy Jock, and I'm just hoping Snyder, gets back to form with his writing. Yeah. But out of everything, that's probably the one thing that I feel like, even if the writing is bad, I know I'm going to enjoy the artwork all the way through.
What about you, James?
I was going to say the Batman Who Laughs, but I'm going to be original, I guess. I'm going to go with Shazam. I'm pretty excited about that.
Shazam is right up there. It's hard.
I'm excited most for Shazam, then it goes Green Lantern. I'm hesitant with Grant Morrison, but if he can pull it off, that's probably going to be my favorite new book out of DC.
Yeah. Also, too, that Batman the Three Jokers, because interest. I'm interested to see.
It's definitely intriguing.
Also, you got Jason Fabok and Jeff Johns together.
Good
That's
team.
a killer team. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to move on to some Marvel stuff. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Uncanny XMen. For some reason, they decided to say, hey, we're going to bring back the Uncanny XMen, but they have no creative team behind it announced, and they haven't. And I don't know if they're going to return to their legacy numbering, I don't know if they're going to bring on an already existing creative team from another X-Men book onto this or what. But basically, the announcement is Uncanny X-Men coming back.
There's a few X-Men titles that are being canceled, so I imagine that they'll be able to get a team together. Right. I bet they just haven't picked it yet. Yeah. And with Marvel, the way they've been doing everything, they've been putting everything back to legacy number. It's just what it is they put down the new number, and then right below it they put down a small legacy number, blah blah blah. And I think that's the main reason why they're wanting to bring back the Uncanny X-Men, because Uncanny X-Men was one of their biggest books back in the 90s. Between that and X-Men was their biggest book.
Yeah.
So I imagine that they're bringing it back. I mean, it makes sense. You have 15 X-Men titles right now. X-Men Red, X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, X-Men Astonishing X-Men, Weapon X. You have all these different X-Men titles, and it would be nice to have, an X-Men that people are familiar with.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that, but, jury's still out, because I don't think any X-Men books right now are really
stellar.
Yeah. But the next thing is X-Men Black. It's going to be 6 one-shot issues spotlighting X-Men villains. And then at the very end of each book is going to be a small, apocalypse serial in the back from the current team that's actually working on Cable right now. So I'm guessing that if you get all 6 issues, then that'll all read like one story for Apocalypse as well. But the first one is Magneto. This is the one I'm absolutely most excited for. If you guys look up on your screen, I've actually got all the characters on top and then all the artists who are going to be doing it, and kind of so you can get a feel of what art style you might be seeing on that character's book. So the first one is Magneto's got Chris Claremont writing Magneto. I don't think you can pull out any bigger guns for an X-Men book. He's the creator of pretty much every X character since the original team, and he's one of the most influential Wolverine and X writers ever. So that's awesome. The artist, his name is Dalibor Talajic. He's done Old Man Logan, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Hitmonkey, and Fool Killer. So as you guys can see, that Wolverine right underneath Magneto is something you might be able to expect from the Magneto book, and that right there has got me excited.
Oh yeah, with that artwork and with Chris Claremont writing it, that's going to be a killer book.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do to spotlight Magneto, if it's going to be like the significant high moments in his life, or if it's going to be a very small section of his life, or
Kill him.
Or if they kill off Magneto. I will say in the current books, he definitely deserves it. Mm-hmm. But what about you, James? How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I like the duo, and then also, you take them one of the most, if not, it is the most iconic X-Men villain, so, get even more backstory to that. Count me in. So, that's awesome.
All right, the next one they're going to be doing is an Emma Frost book. It's by Leah Williams, who she's done the Totally Awesome Hulk, X-Men Gold Annual. She doesn't have a whole lot of credits to her name. The artist is Chris Bacalo. The first thing that really springs to mind with his art is the Doctor Strange issue that came out with, what was it, Marvel Now? I think he's the one who did Doctor Strange with like the bow and arrow on issue 1. So that's his art style, very different. But he's also done Generation X and Uncanny XMen. If you guys look, that picture of Magic I've got up, he's got a very different style, a little bit like Humberto Ramos look to it.
Yeah.
But Emma Frost isn't a character I care too much about. And, when researching pictures of her, it seemed like I was just looking at porn. So I think she's something more to look at. But they've also got a woman on here. So how do you guys feel about this?
I'm not real excited for the writer. I didn't really like Totally Awesome Hulk. And I'm not really reading X-Men Gold.
She didn't write a whole lot of Totally Awesome Hulk. It was mostly Greg Pak.
So I haven't really read a whole lot from her, so that's going to be a little interesting. But the artwork is, the artist is what's going to keep me actually wanting to read it.
Okay. Because
I really do, I enjoyed his run on Doctor Strange. And that was the main reason why I enjoyed it, was his artwork.
Well, yeah, Jason Aaron was writing it too. So.
Yeah, well, I didn't really. Whatever.
Shut up.
But I really enjoy his artwork. It's different, So that's what's going to get me to pick the book up off the shelf. But for the writer, I mean, there's not enough to go off of, but I'm not going to let that be what hurts the book.
Right.
Because if she doesn't have a whole lot of credits, it's not her fault.
Yeah. How about you, James?
I think the art looks solid, but Emma Frost is just one of those characters you just don't care
that's
for.
The other thing that sucks.
I know there's so many other great Marvel or X-Men villains. Emma Frost to me is not really a villain. She's played both sides equally, I think. So,
well, even in the cinematic world, when they heard she was going to be in X-Men First Class, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's hot.
What? And she was terrible in the movie. I'm just like, why?
Hey, well, welcome to the X-Men comic book universe, because that's almost the exact same thing with Emma Frost. There's not a whole lot of people that come in here going, you know who I really like? Emma Frost.
The best story you can tell is how she feels not being with Scott anymore. I think that's about the best thing. That's like the best territory to explore with her.
Also, you get getting to that point, you have to go for like one of the worst ones, and that's her with Scott.
I liked her and Scott together.
At times, but for the most part, I don't know. I just kept looking at it and I was
I loved
don't touch her.
I loved to hate her, you know what I mean? But I liked the way it worked. All right, let's move on to Juggernaut. I think this one sounds fucking awesome. So you got Robbie Thomas on the writing. He's on Spider-Man Deadpool. He's on Silk, Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme. All fun little romp books. And then Sean Crystal, who's done Scarlet Witch, Illuminati, and Astonishing Ant-Man. If you guys take a look at the weird, exaggerated style I've got underneath of Juggernaut with that Batman picture, I actually think it's going to translate pretty nicely to a Juggernaut book. Juggernaut's just this big, giant meathead who's goofy, who's almost all powerful. Not all powerful, but
he's unstoppable.
Unstoppable, yeah. You can't really stop
He's
this guy.
He's a Juggernaut.
Yeah, so this one definitely has me interested, and I think that the kooky art style is going to translate pretty well. How do you feel about this, James?
Robbie Thompson, you count me in. I loved his series of Spider-Man Deadpool. Like you said, it was a fucking ton of fun. So you got that. And then also this wacky art style down here. I love it. So, yeah, just definitely come. But Juggernaut, I mean, can I really carry by himself?
Well, it's a one issue.
Well, it's a one issue, but just like, do we need this back?
As a comic book retailer, after Deadpool 2 came out, people were actually coming in here looking for Juggernaut. Shit. Yeah. Like, people actually, like, I mean, I think it's a little too late for that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is some people who have some interest in Juggernaut now.
Well, the thing is, too, I think Juggernaut is a classic X-Men villain. I mean, he's not technically a mutant, but he is a classic X-Men villain. And I'm curious to see what they're gonna choose to spotlight for him.
Now, Crystal, did Crystal do the artwork for? I know you did the research on this. Did they say anything about Arkham Manor under?
No. Oh, Arkham Manor was no. God, I can't remember for the life of me who the Arkham Manor was, but no, it's not this artist.
Okay, because the picture you have, I can't really tell from over here, but it looks a little.
Oh, I'm thinking Arkham Asylum.
Oh, I'm thinking
by Grant Morrison.
Arkham Manor. It's written by I think Duggan.
Okay, then no, I don't know. It's possible.
Okay. It's just a small little.
There was
series.
a lot of writers and artists.
The way
for me
that
to look
Batman's
up.
drawn on here is
Yeah.
the way that the Batman is drawn on that book. So
It actually reminds me a lot of the Batman Shadow crossover that they did not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
But all right, let's move on to Mojo. This is an interesting character to give a solo spotlight book to, and I actually think this is going to be a brilliant issue. Only because Mojo is just so literally otherworldly and out there and just ridiculous. You've got this guy that apparently you are much more familiar with than I am, Scott Aukerman from
man.
Comedy Bang Bang.
Oh god.
This
That's
guy,
so good.
looking him up, he has no comic book writing credits to his name, so Marvel's really going out of their way to make this book just wacky.
Who was that? Greg Poston that did Deadpool? I mean, he didn't have any writings credits to him.
Oh, Posen?
Yeah,
Ryan
Posen,
Posen?
yeah.
Brian Poston. Yeah, he didn't have any. Granted, he was a huge comic book nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, like he would even do little bits about always having to go to comic book stores. He did a documentary once with Patton Oswalt
Okay,
where
anyways.
they. Went, yeah, never
It's not
mind.
about Brian Posen.
Okay, but no, Scott Aukerman, yeah, he's a comedy writer for TV shows and movies and stuff like that, and I am so pumped about it. I'm so pumped that he's like kind of dipping over in the comic book.
Yeah, and you got the artist on here is Nick Bradshaw, as you guys can see. He's done quite a lot of stuff recently, too. He's done Venomized, Justice League Rebirth, Avengers No Surrender, Infinity Countdown. He's done a lot of stuff lately. But actually, the Scott Aukerman thing reminds me, Marvel, for some reason, has this like weird love-hate relationship with Mojo. Because I don't know if you guys ever watched, there was an X-Men or Avengers issue, cartoon out not too long ago where Ralph Garman actually did the voice of Mojo. He was a radio personality on K-Rock in LA, and now he also does a podcast with Kevin Smith. It's the Smodcast or whatever they do.
Yeah, he's like on all his new movies and
Yeah,
like
he
Yoga
was
Hosers and Tusk.
So they had him do the voice of Mojo. So it seems like Marvel's just like, Mojo is one of those characters we don't give a shit. Go wacky, go weird,
Yeah.
Well,
do
yeah.
whatever the hell you want.
And I
but-
mean, that's the best way to do Mojo.
yeah, but what are you gonna do? I'm just curious. What do you do with a single issue of Mojo? You know,
I
don't do an
know,
origin story, but
What a
I'm
bizarre
so
character.
strapped in and so ready to have so much fun with it because I
Yeah.
guarantee it's just going to be a really fun book.
and with his art, I mean, this artist is an art. Oh my god, I'm tongue twisted. This artist is an interesting pick. I would actually go with somebody more like Sean Crystal with this by looking at that Batman picture. You know, something that's just exaggerated and a little just weird and disproportionate. That's what I would go with for Mojo. But this guy they've got, Nick Bradshaw, he does everything very comic booky. So I'm wondering if he's gonna be going outside of that and just deciding to just test what he can do.
Yep.
He had some moments in Infinity Countdown where it's because Infinity Countdown he got to have a little fun. You can compare that to like the Spider-Verse and Venomized.
Well, he might have only done some of the covers for that though.
Okay. Well, and if yeah, I think he might have. Never mind. But otherwise, what I was going to say was Infinity Countdown. The artwork throughout that book is very comic book like, but at the same time, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a little like just mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's like Mojo's such a bizarre character, but like, you tell me that a comedy guy's doing
Comedy
this.
Bang Bang. Have you ever seen Comedy Bang Bang?
No, I
It's
haven't.
on Netflix. Everybody go watch it. Reggie Watts was on the first season, and he had Kid Cudi, and now it's Weird Al. It's great. That's
Yeah.
his musical host.
Well, like you said too, maybe this is like a good way for that artist Nick to branch out, do something fresh and different. That
Yeah.
you know he can be wacky with this character because it's even a bizarre character to do this.
Even the
with.
name is weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the one that I am least enthusiastic about. It's the Mystique issue. This one, I don't know why they're going with this team. It's a woman whose name is Shannon McGuire, and apparently she's a novelist and a short story writer, and she's also going to be writing something else here, what we'll talk about later. But I don't know why you're bringing this person on to write a Mystique book. And the artist is Marco Failla or something like that, but he's been doing Marvel Rising, All New Wolverine, and Miss Marvel, like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, the Marvel Rising. That art, when I think Mystique, I don't think that tone at all.
Well, after reading Mr. and Mrs. X, I can see how they're gradually getting over there.
Not me. I mean, Mr. and Mrs. X. No, I still.
I don't
can't.
agree with it. I'm just saying, Mr. and Mrs. X, like you're getting more to this homely house mom kind of feel to her now.
I think this is.
They're not making her the evil assassin like what she used to be.
I think this book is honestly just going to be pandering at its finest. I really do. I think it's to appeal to that
Female audience.
The female audience that is, that wants to read about the minority characters and all that other stuff. And I just don't think this is. Mystique is probably not the character you do it with. They could prove me wrong. I don't know.
I know she has blue skin, and I know she can shapeshift and change the skin color, but I'm pretty sure, to me, she is like that. Like, if she was like just a normal person out there, she would be that white woman that always asks for your manager. Like, let me speak to your manager, please.
Mystique?
Yeah.
Mystique's the kind of chick that would just beat the shit out of
the
you
manager.
instead.
I mean, and I'm saying in real life, not in real life. Women don't just sit there and beat the shit out of people. They when their order is wrong.
Watch the nightly news more often.
Yeah,
but
the order's wrong.
I don't know.
She'd be like, "Let me speak to your manager. I'm going to go get my daughter."
This book I'm not interested in it at all. What about you, James?
Everybody knows I'm a movie guy. I don't give a fuck about Mystique in the movies. I don't give a fuck about her in comic books. And like you said, there's like a novelist writing this.
Yeah, it's like she writes novellas, so they're just like short novels. It's I don't know why they dug her up for this, and like I said, she's gonna be making a comeback here soon.
Maybe she just got something we don't know about.
Maybe,
like
but
you
the
say,
thing is, Marvel's they've been really. I'm gonna be honest here. They've been trying to appeal to this demographic that doesn't actually read comic books, but they're calling for social change. And while I understand that, and I agree that social change does need to happen, the way Marvel's been going about it in a lot of their books, I don't think is the right way to do it. And this doesn't seem to be course correcting. I think this is going to be more of the same more of the same tone for a lot of things that they've already canceled books for.
Yeah, but the thing is we know people that buy that stuff.
Yeah, but it won't be a lot.
Gwenpool, the Marvel Rising stuff. I mean, it's not a lot, but I mean,
I'll guarantee Magneto sells 4 times as much as Mystique.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is still they still sell.
Well, that Miss Marvel's pretty popular here recently, right?
Not here. Apparently, her books are popular, but they're not here. And I actually did a lot of research on that, and we can talk about that on a completely different time. But yeah, no, this isn't something that's going to be doing it for me. But I am interested in pretty much all the other ones, more so Magneto than anything else. But other than Mystique, X-Men Black looks fun. All right, we're going to move on to a really quick one, which is basically just Iceman. He's coming back for a limited series that's going to see Emma Frost and Sinister return from the writers Tina Grace. And again, something that they felt the need to specify in the announcement is that it's from a gay Middle Eastern man. So to me, it's just like they're putting these kinds of things before making a good story. I mean, Iceman, the reason I say this is Iceman was already canceled. Iceman got the axe after 10 issues?
I feel like it went to about 12.
10 or 12 issues. Then they stopped it. Now they're going to bring it back for, I think, 5 more issues from the same writer that got it canceled from the first time. I don't understand the business strategy behind this, but it's whatever. I'm not going to be reading it. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Why would you include that in the description for it? I just don't understand that.
Well,
it's just like taking away
it's
from
like the way they do it in movies now, right? Oh, it's going to be directed by a Asian woman, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, why can't you just say that it's going to be directed by a person?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand I understand why they would pick a gay Middle Eastern man to write it, because if you have somebody writing that's not part of that, like understands that lifestyle, then you get people Jewish white guys that write for Luke Cage and black guys saying, oh, what do black guys say? Sweet Christmas. That's how they don't understand that culture. So it makes sense, but you do not need to specify that.
I disagree.
Thing.
Really?
Who created Miles Morales?
Bendis, but that's Bendis. I'm not saying all writers have to do that.
No, but
it's
to me it's the same.
The risk.
It's the same argument as Scarlett Johansson can't play a transgender person in a movie because she's not transgender.
I'm not saying they have to. I'm just saying it makes sense why they would pick someone.
Right, but to me, I don't see that they're picking this person based on merit. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's had an Iceman series and it got canceled because of low sales.
Hey,
I'm
not saying that I agree with him being on the book because he did get it canceled. I'm not saying it's something that needs to happen. I'm just saying that I would much rather, like, if you trying to write a book in the perspective of a young black male, I don't think that you would understand that culture as well as an actual black male.
But if no one knew that I wasn't a black male and they picked up that book and thought it was well written, does it matter if I'm black or not?
Not really.
Exactly.
But that's if it's well written. But you run a risk with it not being run a risk with it actually coming off slightly like
right. But
wrong.
that doesn't come from the person's skin color or sexual orientation. It's just whether or not they're a skilled writer. And this guy has already proved he's not a skilled enough writer to keep a series going. So I'm saying, as far as business sense goes, why is Marvel doing this?
I don't know why they're doing it because they did the same thing with Jessica Jones. I don't
Yeah.
understand why they're announcing it like that too.
I don't either.
They don't need to announce it because they did it when Bendis was going to be off of Jessica Jones. They announced that it was going to be a female writer. Like they didn't even say the girl's name. They just said a female writer.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have to say that? You can just say it's going to be carrying
Written by
on
this
by
person.
somebody different,
Yeah.
or say the actual person's name.
And that's the kind of stuff that's been bugging me lately. So let's move on to the next one that I don't have very much faith in, which is The Vision. It's going to be a 6-issue series that picks up right after Tom King's critically acclaimed series. So we all remember back about 3 years ago when Tom King did a Vision series, kind of living a domesticated life with a wife and 2 kids. Well, this one's coming back, 6 issues. It's going to be taken off right after that. The writer is Chelsea Kane. Now, I looked her up. She was a journalist for the Oregonian in Oregon, so she was a journalist for that. Then she wrote a Mockingbird series that only lasted 8 issues before it was canceled. Don't know why they're doing that. They're also bringing on Mark Mohan, he wrote with Chelsea Kane at the Oregonian. So it seems like she's like, oh, I'm going to write this series, and I'm going to bring along my friend. After a series that she wrote that was canceled. And then the artist is going to be Odd, A-U-D, it's a weird name, Coke, who's done Assassinistas, America, and Hawkeye. So I don't feel like I need to really go too far into where this book seems to be aimed at, but let's just say it's probably not aimed at the same audience that the first Vision series was aimed at.
I don't really have a whole lot of hopes on it. The credits on the creative team don't have me excited. The only thing that would have me excited is the fact that it's the Vision, but once I've seen the creative team, then I wouldn't really care.
It seems like very sloppy put together too. The team behind it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Like you guys said too. It's like the old series, and now you're gonna continue it. And it's like, oh, we enjoyed that, so let's just get this team together and get on that. But once again, like it's series that's got canceled. How can you have like somebody come back after that, especially 8 issues?
Yeah, and well, the thing is, it wasn't Vision that she wrote. So Tom King, who's writing Batman, now wrote the original Vision series.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just coming
now
off that, and they're just like, yeah, let's just throw this quick team together to continue.
Yeah, and
that.
like, who's this guy, Mark Mahone? He's never, as far as my research showed, he has never written a comic book. He wrote as a journalist with Chelsea Kane, and now they're going to be writing
like you
Vision
said, bringing
series.
a friend along.
Yeah, and they're writing a Vision series, and the only other comic book thing that she has to her name was a Mockingbird series that was canceled after 8 issues. I don't understand. Again, this is where I'm like, Marvel, this is where you start really screwing yourself over. You're seeing really great sales with Spider-Man and Thor and Captain America and Hulk and Iron Man in your Avengers books. Now you're branching out to these other smaller known characters, but you're not getting quality writers, so why would you expect anything from them? Which also tells me that because you're going to say it's a mini-series, you don't have a lot of faith in it. So you're going to come out here and say, well, we've always planned this to be 6 issues, so no worries if this book can't get canceled. We're just going to do the 6 issues. To me, this is just bad business. If you don't have a good writer with a good story for a character that isn't one of your, tent-pole characters, then don't bother until someone comes along with a good story.
I think that the main thing about these news that's coming out from Marvel is that I think that they're more focused, and I think this is the difference between DC and Marvel right now, is Marvel is found its stride. It's picking up it's doing these legacies, and they're doing, they're going back to their roots with their characters. They're going Captain America and all this stuff. They have all these titles that they're going on. I think they're more focused on all these titles, these ones that we are really enjoying right now. And that's the reason why we don't because other than just the fact of the news being not that good for Marvel, there's really not a whole lot compared to the DC news. And I think that they're just kind of like, they felt like they needed to say, hey, these are some updates, but these are the kind of ones that we really don't, we don't have strong faith in. We're more focused on our Captain America or Spider-Man. We're more focused on our big ones.
But to me, why spend the money to do this then?
But yeah, it's to waste the money to test that water. It's like, that's weird.
People do it.
I know, but I just think that they should have learned. I think they've had enough of this happen recently in the past couple years.
Yeah, but they
to
did
not
that.
do this
Yeah,
anymore.
but see, the thing is though, is if they were going to do it the way that they would done it last year, they would have done like 5 different things of the same caliber. They would have done, maybe not the Vision, but they would have a laundry list of characters that they were doing.
Oh, we're not done with Marvel. Don't worry. So let's move on to Marvel Knights. We're getting Marvel Knights, which is no real news about this imprint other than a creative team being announced. So basically, they're going to bring the Marvel Knights imprint back. This is where you're going to get a little bit more of your quote-unquote max stories, or your more adult-oriented street-level heroes. So some of the people you've got on here is Donny Cates. Obviously, this guy's been killing it for Marvel. He's been doing Cosmic Ghost Rider, Death of the Inhumans, Venom. He's done Buzzkill. He did Thanos, Baby Teeth, Doctor Strange, Damnation. This guy is like, who's that King Midas, who everything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of what he is right now.
As a matter of fact, a lot of the books that he's been writing, I mean, like instantly, like within a day or two, the books go up in value
because of all these new characters.
These characters that he's just introducing, and you can tell with the way he's writing them. He's not thinking it's going to be something big. He's just like, well, that character went off. Like,
cool. And then you got another one, Teenie Howard. Now you're going to recognize this person, not from Rick and Morty, not from Assassinistas, but recently did Euthonauts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that person, I think it's a woman, Teenie Howard, I believe.
Good artist.
And then the next person is Vita Ayala, which has done Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Bitch Planet. So, don't know what character they're going to be taking on, maybe an Elektra-type character. And then Matthew Rosenberg, who we all know from New Mutants, Dead Souls, Multiple Man, Tales of Suspense, just to name a few of the things that he's done recently. But
good, and like it's literally a roller coaster of titles that you just gave me. Like, it's like decent, bad, really good.
Yeah. So I think this is good news, possible good news. There are 2 out of 4 people here that I have a lot of faith in that I think can do some really good stuff. Like, I think Tales of Suspense was a really good showcase of what you can do with these kind of characters that don't have superpowers, but how you can write them and make them interesting. Donny Cates, I think he can pretty much make anything interesting. I mean, the premise of the new Venom series sounds stupid until you read it. So, James, how do you feel about any of this?
I enjoyed the Marvel Knights because you got that corner of the Marvel world where you can do the mature characters and stuff like that. So, yeah, it sounds like a solid team behind it. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I haven't said any characters that
no. I mean, I assume we're going to be seeing some Daredevil, some Punisher, some Blade, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! If
those
you got
types
those characters
of characters,
too. Yeah, with that team, yeah.
They're even reprinting their old trades of Marvel Knights to kind of introduce the concept of it. I'm really excited about it. Yeah,
getting reprinted.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, but at the same time, I'm really worried because another thing too is what you didn't mention. Donny Cates is actually running this imprint.
Yeah.
So I feel like Donny Cates is becoming real big, and they're doing what Marvel always is really good at doing, and it's putting their writer on 15 different things. So like right now, he's doing Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's doing Infinity Wars. He's doing all these titles right now, and they just keep adding them on titles. And now they're like, okay,
not
now you're gonna.
Wars, is he?
I can't remember if it's Infinity Wars. No, that's Duggan. It's Death of Inhumans. Death of Inhumans. Yeah. But they're putting him all these titles, these big titles too, and then they're going to have him do an imprint. And because he's doing an imprint, he's going to be doing some writing on those.
They're going to run him ragged, basically.
Yeah,
they're kind of what they've done to Bendis. They've
Lemire.
done to Wade. Lemire. Yeah, they've done it to a lot of writers. I hope they learn their lesson. Like, just let these guys go at their own pace and put out good quality books, even if it's only 2 at a time. But all right, let's move on to some other Marvel stuff that we're going to get into. This one might interest you, James. It's into the Star Wars world. I know that Josh doesn't give a flying fuck, but
hey, I do care about the Vader and Maul. Yeah.
Okay, well, so basically a new 24-issue comic book epic, a cross-era epic spotlighting 24 different heroes and villains from all the different eras of the Star Wars saga. So we're going to get the Age of Republic prequel era by Jody Houser, who's done Faith and Mother Panic. That's a weird choice to me. You're doing the prequel era by the writer of Faith and Mother Panic. You're talking Darth Maul, you're talking young Anakin, you're talking Jedi Council, you're talking the Republic before Emperor Palpatine and all this shit. But the writer of Faith and Mother Panic?
It's weird, but at the same time, at the same time, I'm kind of intrigued.
I
like Mother Panic.
Yeah. The next one is Age of Rebellion, which is like the original trilogy era, which you've got Greg Pak on. That, I'm sold already. You got Planet Hulk, Magneto, Testament, Incredible Hercules, Totally Awesome Hulk, and Silver Surfer. Greg Pak's got a lot of different stuff to his name, but those are just to name a few. But this is, you're talking like the prime time for Luke, Skywalker, Leia, Han Solo, Chewie, R2, C-3PO, Yoda. That sounds fucking awesome to me. I'm curious what they're going to do. The only thing is that I'm bummed about this is it's like 24 different heroes and villains are going to get a single issue, I believe. And then it's not really going to be a continuous story, but maybe they do. Maybe they do something like that, where each book is like a character focus, but it is still telling the same story, but maybe from different perspectives. I don't know exactly all the details. How do you feel about that one?
The Age of Rebellion. You guys talking about, was it Greg Pak or Park?
Pak.
It's like, it seems like you just said, like a veteran tackling the main core, the most popular of what the.
Yeah, I mean, he also did World War Hulk, so.
Yeah, so it's cool that they're having him tackle that. That's an interesting choice to do that. I mean, so have they said any of the villains or the heroes of this?
No, I mean, the only one that we've got is the Darth Maul. That's the one that we know, which is during the Age of Republic, which apparently is the Jody Houser writer. So don't know what to make of that. That art on that cover is beautiful, though. And then the last one is the Age of the Resistance, or the sequel period, kind of like Rey and Finn and Poe and all those characters. You got Tom Taylor on there. So you got Injustice Year 3, X-Men Red, Superior Iron Man. He's done a lot of Dark Horse Star Wars. And me as a Superior Iron Man fan, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. Superior Iron Man got cut off and never got finished. That pissed me off. But that one I think sounds good. And it might do a lot of damage control as far as how much people are hating on the Last Jedi stuff. They might find a way to do something good with that.
Yeah, and also too to have with the cinema world right now, you got this hard transition to everybody go from the originals to the new characters. So maybe that's a good way to ease that transition, I guess.
Yeah, that's something like, hey, we're gonna have to appeal to our fan base a little bit. Let's put out some shit they're gonna like. Yep. What do you think, Josh?
I don't know. It seems. I mean, for me, like, it's just the Star Wars comics never really intrigued me that much. The only times I ever was really intrigued by the Star Wars comics was when the Darth Maul run that they did was good.
Son of Dathomir.
Yeah, and then the beginning of Vader, I didn't finish it because I fell off of it, but I really liked that. Like, I really like those. I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan, though. Yeah. So it doesn't really pertain a whole lot to me.
I will say Jason Aaron's Star Wars was good.
I'd love a new brutal ass Darth Vader comic book. That'd be so awesome.
They have one out right now.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't read it, but I see it.
It is brutal.
Man, it's brutal.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be moving on to Spidergeddon, the tie-ins and spin-offs. So the one that has me most interested and most enthusiastic is Superior Octopus. Yeah, come on. You know you want some Superior Octopus in your life, Josh. The writer's going to be Christos Gage, who's done Superior Spider-Man. He started at like volume 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. He's done Spider-Verse, Captain America, Iron Man, The Casualties of War. He's done some other stuff too, but that was during like the Civil War era. And then you got Mike Hawthorne on the art there. Deadpool, Spider-Man, Conan. He's done a lot of good stuff.
Oh, really? Hawthorne?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know him from Deadpool, I assume?
Oh, that and Spider-Man.
Okay. How you feeling, James?
Superior Spider-Man. I fucking
Superior
love
Octopus.
No, Superior Spider-Man. Oh. You said that's one that he did, right?
Yeah, he took over like volume 5 or 6 of that.
Yeah. So I fucking love that. So I don't know.
Well, you know who Superior Octopus is, right?
No.
It is Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, so he actually just ended up.
It's Doc Ock.
He's in a clone of Peter Parker,
okay.
and then that's if you look up in the picture, there's a picture of what he looks like. So Superior Octopus is essentially Superior Spider-Man.
Well, just to feel the outside, it sounds like, I don't know. I don't want to say ridiculous, but it sounds like pretty fishy. But
I'm excited.
I heard the same thing when they said the synopsis to Superior Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah. And I was just like, man, this sounds so stupid. And then you read it, and it's just like, holy fuck, I love
excellent.
this.
Yeah.
So,
and you get the guy who's doing it.
So I'm getting, I don't know why, but I'm getting the same positive vibes from this right here. So I'm pretty excited.
All right, let's move on to something that'll make you less excited. Spider-Girls. Written by Jody Houser, the person we were just talking about who's doing the Faith and Mother Panic stuff for the Age of Republic for Star Wars. But the artist is Andres Genolet. I don't really know how to pronounce the name, but he's done X-Men Blue and Jean Grey. Now, X-Men Blue, do you remember that cover I said? I thought it was like Stuart Amonin when it had like Jean. So that's the artist. That's the only part that's got me a little bit interested here is Spider-Girls. But other than that, I don't know who you're getting. Are you getting Jessica Drew Spider-Woman? Are you getting like the future Spider-Girl?
I wish I could know the team lineup. because I really like Jodie Hauser. I mean, I never really cared for Faith, but I enjoyed Mother Panic, and I think that sounds like a book. Depending on which Spider Girls you get, that would be a perfect book.
What is
Beyond.
Peter's future daughter's name? That's Spider Girl. I can't remember.
It's like May.
May, was it May?
Yeah, I think it's May. I want to say that, but like
I'm thinking that's probably
May,
part of it. That's why I included it in the image. But I don't know who these Spider Girls are going to be. Silk will probably be one. Spider Gwen might show up. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think I have a funny feeling it's probably going to be Peter Parker's daughter from another universe, May Parker, and a couple.
That character hasn't really been in anything in like a decade.
Well, since Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and then we're gonna move on to Spider Force. Donald Trump's favorite.
Space Force, yeah.
Space Force.
Donald Trump's favorite Spider-Man imprint.
It's the one to stop all the spiders.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
apparently he found out that you
Extreme
eat like 5
exterminators.
spiders a year.
Yeah. But no, the writer is Chris Priest, who's done Black Panther and Deathstroke. Yeah,
Holy
you
shit.
see? Yeah, see? And you got the artist Paolo Siqueira, who's a deviant art artist.
Oh, nice. So they're picking out a new artist. That's cool.
Yeah, but
and then putting him with a legend.
with Chris Priest, yeah.
So, okay,
So I
cool.
don't know
down.
what the hell Spider Force is supposed to be. I really have no clue. I'm kind of thinking like the spider totems and stuff that we've seen in like Dan Slott's run. Maybe that's what we're going to be seeing. But how do you feel about this? As somebody, have you read any Black Panther from Chris Priest?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just Tennessee.
Okay.
Have you read any Chris Priest before?
Maybe, I don't know.
You probably have.
Probably.
I can't imagine somebody going through life without reading something from Chris Priest.
Well, you're also a nerd. And then the last thing we're going to go to is Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, which is actually going to continue the series that was just canceled. You got the writer, again, this Shannon McGuire, who's like a novelist, like not really a proven writer in any way, but you just canceled Spider-Gwen. You're going to start off in issue 1, but it's going to be a continuation of the last series that just got canceled. I don't understand it. I understand that this character is popular, people love the cosplay as her and all that stuff, but if the numbers weren't there, why are you continuing a Spider-Gwen series?
Because Spider-Gwen's cool.
Yeah, it's Spider-Gwen's popularity, they're just taking another swing at it.
But apparently the people who like Spider-Gwen are not buying her comic books.
Yes.
Well, the whole thing... Hey, motherfucker, I buy my comic book all the time.
How many copies do we order every week? Every
You
time?
only order 2.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 people that pull it. But you know what? To be honest, I'm not interested in this book, though. I love Spider-Gwen, but I'm not interested in this book because it's not Robbie Rodriguez and Jason Latour. That's the team that I feel like is only good for it. I do feel like, I will say this as a Spider-Gwen fan, that it has been pushed too far. It was something that was really cool, and I loved it for a long time, and then they just kept cramming it everywhere. And I just felt like they took something that was cool, and they made it lame.
Talking about Deadpool?
Yeah,
They didn't make it lame, but they just burn you out on it.
Yeah, so I'm not really excited. I'm going to give it one read just because I'm not going to diss on it just because it's the writers and novelist.
Well, the artist is Rosie Camp, has done Civil War 2. I think it was like some variant covers and Extraordinary X-Men.
The Extraordinary X-Men wasn't bad.
Yeah, but all right. Well, I don't know. I don't really care about this. I think it's all spawning out of like Spidergeddon and their tie-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on really quickly to Marvel releasing digital-only comic books. Comics you can only get digitally. And wouldn't you know, there are a lot of characters on here who had their series canceled. So you got Jessica Jones, you got Kelly Thompson actually on Jessica Jones, who's done Captain Marvel, Hawkeye, Rogue and Gambit. Artist being Mattia de Ilulis. I can't even pronounce the name. But apparently this person's also from Deviant Art. But I think this is only going to be like a 3-issue thing, 2 or 3 issues, and again, it's a mini thing, so it's like, well, we didn't cancel that book. We always planned for it to be 3 issues. It's digital. And then I'm just going to rattle off the other ones. Luke Cage is getting one. Iron Fist, Phantom Limb, Daughters of the Dragon, Cloak and Dagger. Funny how they all have television counterparts, basically, but they're not big enough characters to hold their own ongoing titles, so they've all been moved over to the digital world where they probably won't see any success either.
Well, there's also a Spider-Man one too. It's called Spidey something, but they already released. Some of these have already released. Yeah, some of these already been released. Jessica Jones' first one came out last week, and I think the Spidey came out today. Jessica Jones didn't get canceled though.
Jessica Jones got canceled.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
Then
it
it
did.
stopped writing.
Yeah, but they also weren't picking the series back up with another writer because it was low sales numbers. Jessica Jones got canceled. Trust
They
me.
announced before he even stopped writing that they were going to continue it off. Like before he was like he has 2 more issues on it. They announced that they were going to continue off onto it. They just didn't say when or how.
On a
like
digital
when.
platform because no one was buying the book.
Whatever.
Okay.
Quit hating on my girl.
I'm not hating on Jessica Jones. This is not me hating your character. This is me saying the money isn't there, the fans aren't there. Why are you wasting resources on this?
Yeah, that's the reason why they're doing digital.
That's what I was about to say. It's like it's where
Because it
belongs.
doesn't cost them shit to do it.
You
Where
still
it
got to pay
belongs.
writers and artists to put this out.
And that's what the digital cost will pay for. But other than that, they're not really that hurt. You know, they get paid off the royalties.
Yeah, but this worries me a little bit as a brick and mortar shop. Going how long before every title is digital?
I don't think
It's like Adam Sandler. You took him out of the movies and you put him on Netflix.
Yeah, kind of. Does anyone have any feelings towards these digital comics?
I'm going to read the Jessica Jones one later
Dawn of the
tonight,
Dragon
and then I'll
looks
find
pretty
out
cool.
if it's any good.
All right.
Darts of the Dragon is not cool. Even back
I
when it
love
was in
that. I love
print,
that
it wasn't
cover. It's
cool.
very Black Dynamite to me.
Colleen Wing is the only one I'd really care about. But all right, I'm going to move on to some of the more miscellaneous, smaller things that we're just going to cover really quickly. George Takei is going to be he's having a comic written out about his time as a child in Japanese internment camps called They Called Us Enemies. It's going to be in 2009 under IDW. Sounds like an interesting story, but also coming from George Takei, who's a known activist and stuff. I think it's going to be heavily geared towards a certain audience.
I think I'll enjoy it.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I know. I think it's
that
cool.
sounds like a documentary just put into a comic book, and I love documentaries. So.
I think this is something that would probably be best served as a novel. But okay, moving on to IDW's Black Crown imprint, Lodger, from Stray Bullets creator David Lapham. It follows a lodger who may or may not be a shapeshifter, and it's supposed to be an eerie kind of story. Now, is this something that would interest either of you guys?
I'd give it a read, but that's only because I work here.
The issue 1?
Yeah.
So you're basically saying you wouldn't go out of your way and buy this issue?
No, if I wasn't working here and I didn't get to just pull it off the shelf and read it in between customers, then I wouldn't care.
I don't work here, so I would not be getting it.
Okay. I don't give a flying fuck about this either. IDW Horror Haunts Star Wars and Tales from Vader's Castle. Basically, they're going to be weekly releases in October. Horror-influenced stories set in the shadowy world of Mustafar from all different eras in Vader's history. To me, this actually sounds like it could be kind of neat. The only thing that I'm thinking is it seems like it might be geared towards children a little bit. But this is basically IDW teaming up with Marvel because IDW is on the verge of bankruptcy and going out of business. I see why they're doing this. I hope that something cool comes out of this, honestly.
I really don't like the Star Wars comics, but I did see that Kelly Jones is going to be a guest starring artist on one of the issues, and that's what's going to drag me because I love Kelly Jones' artwork.
I was sold on this when you described it until I looked in the left-hand corner and
You
seen
saw
that
it.
Disney. I was like, fuck!
Well,
stop.
I mean, Disney does own
Yeah,
the Star
I know,
Wars,
but I'm like, they slapped
let's
the
also
logo
throw
on
this-
there.
Let's also throw it out there is a Star Wars Adventures title already, and it is a kid's comic.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Damn.
this is probably going to be kids, but hopefully it can appeal to adults too and doesn't feel too kiddie.
Yeah.
All right, the next one actually has me pretty intrigued, and it's called Shredder in Hell by Mateus Santoluoco. I don't know. There wasn't a synopsis on any of this, but I'm pretty sure Shredder's been dead for a while in the comic books. And if they're going to bring him back, and they're going to see his journey, kind of like Kratos coming out of fucking Hades and stuff to get back out of hell. This sounds like it could be a really badass little book, and if that art's anything to go by, sign me up. I'm definitely giving that at least that first issue a read.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Is that if that was the artwork, I'm like, holy shit, I really dig that.
I'm sure that's just the cover art, but I'm hoping the panel art isn't too far a
That'd be
departure
sweet.
from that.
Yeah, it looks really. I mean, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't really want to I haven't read any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics since Eastman, but I'm intrigued by this. But I'm tired of comic books always doing stuff in hell. Like there's Hellboy in hell, Bill and Ted in
Wolverine
hell,
in
Wolverine
hell.
in hell.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well,
like
Wolverine
everything.
goes to
Everybody's
hell.
in hell anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm cool with it, man. Shredder, he's a piece of shit. So if he's coming back from hell, let's hear that story. And the other things, I don't even think I have any images made up for it because no one's going to care. George Romero's Road of the Dead, written by Jonathan Mayberry. It's going to be a small little comic book. Does anyone care about that?
No, he's
Me.
dead.
And
All right.
Nice. And then the first revealed creative team from IDW's new partnership with Marvel Comics for original young reader comics, Delilah Dawson and Fiko Asio is on Spider-Man. That issue that you were talking about that was just released this week, that's it. It's for kids. It's for young readers.
No. The book that I was talking about is called Spidey. It's
I think-
continuing off the Spidey comic that was canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
continuing off that Spidey comic that was just called Spidey. Spider-Man, I think, is going to be dealing with Miles Morales.
Oh, okay. Well, this is something that's also for original young readers comics, so this is going to be something that's geared towards children. I don't really care about this. Does anybody have any thoughts on it, at least?
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about the writers or the writer or the artist or anything, so I mean, I don't know. I don't really care.
James?
Hard pass on me, bro.
Okay, so before we wrap this thing up, guys, I want to hear from Marvel and DC. What are your things that you're most excited about, James? What are the things that you're going to put on your pull list and look forward to the day it comes out? Grab one off the shelf.
Oh, definitely that Shazam. That was at the top. And then what was the 3 different Jokers? That's definitely had me intrigued. I want to see what Jeff Johns actually does with that. And then what was the Batman Who Laughs? Yep. And that's definitely top of my list.
You DC fanboy.
I know.
Nothing from Marvel?
Nothing Marvel was really pulling me there, so.
What about you, Josh? What's got you most titillated?
No, I take that back. Marvel Knights. I'm really excited about that because I enjoyed that.
I'm probably going to be... God, it sucks because even before I worked here, I was pulling all kinds of shit. I'm definitely going to be pulling Batman and Joker. I know I'm going to check out the three Jokers. Batman Who Laughs is definitely going to be one. Shazam's definitely going to be one. With the X-Men Black, I find it to be very intriguing, but really I would be happy with just the Magneto and Mojo.
No Juggernaut?
Juggernaut, yeah, a little bit, but it's not. Out of all of those, that's not one I'm just like, yeah. No, the other two, I'm like I can't wait for.
Okay.
Marvel Knights, I'm gonna be down for majority of that. I mean, whatever Donny Cates is touching, I'm gonna want to touch as well.
Careful, his wife, girlfriend, or boyfriend. I don't know which.
Yeah. And in the Spidergeddon, I'm gonna have to, just because I always enjoy good Spider-Man tales, and I'm hoping this would be good. And I'm definitely looking forward to Superior Octopus, and I think that Spider-Girls might be pretty good. I don't know.
All right, well, I don't give a fuck about Spidergeddon. I don't care about any of that spider stuff other than Superior Octopus. That sounds pretty awesome to me. And then as far as Marvel goes, the X-Men Black Magneto issue with Chris Claremont, I mean, that's got to be the top of any real fans' list. Both of you. And then, Marvel Knight sounds intriguing. Vision, I think, can go to hell. Iceman can go to hell. A lot of this other crap, I think, can go to hell too. But I'm very excited for the Marvel Knights. I'm excited for X-Men Black Magneto for sure.
Now who sounds like a DC fanboy?
Hey, man, Marvel didn't come to play this year, man. DC
I think
definitely
Marvel's
did.
more focused on their other shit.
Yeah, their movies. All right, guys. Well, I think that is all we have for you. If you guys listen this long, we really appreciate it. That means you are true comic book fans, and we want to reward you by telling you that. We'll be back next week with early comic book reviews. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.